Well, hello and welcome to the season finale of Let's Drink About It. We are here getting to know industry professionals, sipping on spirits, and having some laughs. Tonight, we are joined by Jesper Strauss. Jesper is the rep for Bacardi. He has worked in bars like Mash, Lindkrupp, and Brunham. One who is always willing to go above and beyond for the industry. A man who loves his family, spirits, Manchester United, and at one point, a stuffed animal named Bobo. Welcome to the show, Jesper.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Good
very
to
much.
have you here.
Really happy to be here, and thanks for considering me for this.
Absolutely. Also,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a little scared, to be honest. There's a fair bit of alcohol in front of me, so I'm quite nervous, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fine.
I think you got this. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's only Thursday, right?
Yeah, and it's 2021, and I have two kids. I haven't seen the bottom of a spirits bottle for a couple of years now.
Well, this will be great then.
yeah, man. No better occasion.
Absolutely. But yes, you do have a little beer to help you through it.
I do.
So please feel free to use that at your discretion. But yeah, we just go in. There you go. We just go in, shot question. I have 6 shots and 6 questions for you. And then we finish it up with a little bit of a game.
Amazing.
All right, man. All right. Then let's kick this off.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Cheers.
Oh, you got a nice little glass. Cheers, man.
Yeah, I know. I ran out of snifters, man. Cheers. Are we shooting or sipping? Okay, Jesus.
Sorry, I thought that was...
Live? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the... yeah, sorry. Future reference. We are taking them down. But that's the heaviest one. I promise.
That was nice. That was good.
Yeah. A little Smith and Cross. Something
always good.
Yeah. Try to start you off high, and then we kind of go off from there, right?
Go a bit more mellow. That's good.
Exactly. But being a rep for a while, you've done a ton of events.
I have. Yeah, I'm closing in on 3.5 years now. With Bacardi Martinis. I'm fortunate enough to cover the whole portfolio. So yeah, we've done quite a lot of things. Everything from really big ones like Bacardi Legacy, which I've been fortunate enough to do twice. We're basically still running, seeing as Corona sort of interrupted the plans a bit for Marie, but I think we're ready to announce what's happening really, really soon. Nice. And yeah, we've done like small, really cool tastings. We've had a lot of people flown in and do some cool stuff. And I think that's probably the reason why I actually took this job. I never really saw myself as an ambassador type. Having served quite a few of brand ambassadors in my time, never really felt like the right way to do it. But once the opportunity presented itself and I got to chat with some people from Bacardi, it's all right, this is actually a really good chance to do some stuff for the people that I've worked with and for the industry that sort of adopted me and became my home away from home.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's been really nice. I've been quite happy with doing these things, and hopefully we'll get to do a lot more soon. But yeah, there's a few stuff. There's a few things in the pipeline, but obviously it's sort of, we need to get together. I'm not really an online sort of fella.
It's a difficult place to.
It is. Yeah. It is. I'm quite happy. I'm really, really happy to see all the stuff that has been going on. A lot of really cool tastings and everything that's really been beneficial for the industry. But I think I'll let that be for the people that's a little bit better at it than I am. I'm not.
No, but I mean,
I'm face to face. I'm old school like that. It's I've done a few trainings online, and it's really awkward because you don't really get any sort of reaction from people, and it's just not.
No, not whenever it's a big group.
Yeah, it's a bit super awkward, but it's fun. I'm learning, and I think this is probably a good step. This is
very nice. Yeah. This will get you to relax.
It will. Maybe I should do that for future reference during online trainings. Just have a few shots before and during. That will probably.
Your trainings would be really, really entertaining then.
It definitely will. It definitely will. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind.
There you go. But online is difficult. I mean, we've been trying to do a few tastings here and there online, and it is a little awkward. Some people can do it really well, and like you do get really interactive with it and have a lot of fun. But the technology side of things is just really confusing to figure out sometimes. Especially like as you saw, like with the first few episodes of the show, we could not figure it out.
You were quite fortunate starting off with Colin that just came to the shop and just sat with you instead.
That was really lucky.
Yeah, because I live in Belarus, so it's how would you do a live stream and me biking into the city? That would be a good 40, 50 minutes.
We just bike halfway. We just meet each other.
We could have.
There you go. I'm sure there's a rest stop somewhere.
Yeah. Or we could meet on the train, just do it end to end. Luckily, we're doing this. No, that's a good point. No, I tried. Oh, it was really awkward. So we did a Banks training with Jim Meehan, who's a co-founder of Banks Rum.
Yeah.
And we did it online, and obviously he's living in Portland, Oregon. So it was really early for him, and it was late afternoon, early evening for us. So we did this for a new client we got, working a lot with Banks, and it's a really high-end place. So it's Hot Bakery that opened a little shop,
right,
just behind street food, and then they opened that, and they said, "Oh, let's get Jim and let's get him to present everything." I said, "All right, I'll take care of it." So I set everything up. I had a little speaker. I did 2 test runs. Everything was fine. We called in, and we started off, and we had first 10 minutes really good. And then the sound just died, and we had 17 people, literally just all of them leaning in towards my computer to get a word of what he's saying. And this is fucking horrible. And I spent 20 minutes trying to get it, and Jim sat there in his kitchen with rum in front of him at 9 in the morning. And I said, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing." But luckily, he's a really cool guy, and he just smiled and laughed, and we got through it, and everybody was happy. But just standing there with technical difficulties, and this is so awkward.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with technical difficulties, since you can't just fix it, right? It's not something that you can like tighten, or there's nothing, you have to press buttons and something happens in here. And so it's so much more frustrating whenever you don't really know what to do. Like you like click off and click on again, and you're like, well, I restarted it. What else?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, usually if you do physical trainings, you can sort of manage around it. But there's just so many things that's out of your control. It's just, you just need to be really lucky. Either, I mean, if the Wi-Fi is shit, or if anything happens, you can
someone doesn't
fix
have headphones or anything like this.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a really embarrassing moment for me, but we managed to get through it, and there might be more in the future. It sort of depends. I think to some extent, it's probably here to stay. I think even after the lockdowns sort of lifted, I think we'll probably still see more, but obviously not at first, because I think we all need to just get in one big group and hug each other, because we really need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we've seen a lot of benefits of actually doing this, and it's probably going to be sort of the new standard for doing masterclasses. Maybe not tastings, but at least to do these trainings, because it's easier for the bartenders, because you don't actually have to wake up and be at a certain point at a certain time. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. And we have seen before this, and just when I started doing trainings, we have seen, I think, a really big downfall in people actually showing up, because there was just so many events happening. There were so many tastings and so many people flown in from over the world doing stuff. And people say, "Oh, this is amazing." And then when you actually ask them to show up at 2 o'clock, nah, they can't be bothered. So that's really
really early. Come on.
Yeah, it's way too early, and that's fine. We try to manage, but I mean, if you have 50 people saying, "Oh, we really want you to do this," and then you do it, and then 14 people show up, come on, guys. But I mean, yeah, we've been really fortunate in Copenhagen, especially. So many bars and so many good bartenders. People have been dying to come to Copenhagen and do stuff. So that's, I mean, yeah, just look at the people that's been in Copenhagen for the past 5 years doing trainings and stuff. Like, whoa, what a lineup.
It's been pretty nice. Absolutely.
It has. And hopefully it'll keep that way, but we'll see what the future brings.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping that this is just like a stasis, right? Like we just come out of this, and will definitely be a little different. I'm sure, like you said, the online stuff will most likely become a bit more relevant, but I'm sure it'll still be good. Absolutely.
Yeah, it will. It will. I mean, and this, I'm pretty sure that all the bartenders are really hungry for all these sorts of events.
Yeah.
So hopefully, everybody in a sort of similar position that I'm in will. I know that they will really do whatever they can to sort of service the industry and make sure that if people want trainings or if people want just anything to help them be more knowledgeable or anything that's going to help their work, and let's just set it up and let's do it. Let's do cross brand. Let's do fucking everything together. Let's just do all the things. Let's have a really big blowout when we actually can do it. I think that's absolutely what's going to happen. But obviously, first and foremost, we need to make sure that the bars actually get some people in. You can get some drinks flying off the counter because
I heard that's a good thing for bars, is to have people inside.
Yeah.
I heard that rumor.
I've heard that once. We'll see. We can't really sell drinks online, so
no.
Well, some people actually do it. With the
there's like
cocktails.
these little takeaway cocktails. I've seen those cocktail kits as well. You can like get it delivered, and it's like a little like night or whatever for a cocktail.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I've tried quite a few. I mean, all the bars that's doing it, Kester Thomas and Deco Bar, and there's quite a few other. I mean, the drinks are freaking amazing. So really well done, really well done.
Of course.
But I think as everybody hopefully realized during this pandemic is, regardless how good of a bartender you are, regardless how good of a drink you buy from a bar, no drink is ever gonna be as tasty as it is in a bar.
Yeah, but that's a given.
No comparison.
No, because you have the atmosphere in a bar. You know, you have everything else. It's not just a taste, right?
No, exactly. I mean, there's just so many things, and we've actually, we at the start of the pandemic, we did a lot of internal trainings, and luckily we're quite close with the UK team for Bacardi Martini, and they've had a platform called Giga Beaker Glass, so they've done a few of these trainings, which is quite relevant for the industry, but it's a little bit abstract, and they've done a lot of things with sort of how the sensory center in the brain works and how everything sort of fits together.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's really cool, man. We're hoping to do something similar in Denmark soon.
Yeah, please do. That sounds cool.
It's really, and what really caught my eye was that, I mean, the part of your brain that sort of picks up on these senses and that sort of builds all your memories is actually closely connected to the sensory part of your brain, where you sort of store all your memories and what strawberries taste like and what raspberries taste like. Everything's really closely connected, and that's why sound and flavor can actually evoke memories.
Right.
And that sort of makes sense, because that's why all cocktails always taste better in a bar, because like the music, the volume, the humidity in the bar, the taste in the bar, the aroma of the bar, the number of people in it, the lighting, everything just sort of creates all these stimulus to your brain and to your senses, and that's actually important in how you perceive that drink you're having.
It's extremely important. Absolutely. I mean, coming into a bar and feeling it, because that happens before you even get to order, right? Whenever you come into a bar, like you can already feel this atmosphere. It's the staff, or like it comes down to even the seats, right? It comes down to absolutely everything.
I mean, it sort of makes sense if you think about it, because I mean, if you go into a really speakeasy, Chesterfield couches, and there's like live music and everything, you rarely go for a Bahama Mama. It's sort of the flavors and the senses don't really mix. Whereas if you go to a beach, you rarely order a Sazerac. You could do it and still probably be tasty, but there's just a few things in the brain that's not really coming together.
Yeah.
And I mean, a fantastically well-made pina colada in a really dark bar, it's going to be really tasty. But I'm pretty sure that your brain will enjoy it even more if you get a fairly average pina colada in a beach with 35 degrees in the sun, because that's just everything else putting in.
Can't wait.
Exactly.
Sorry, just off topic. Like we have had some warm weather lately, but can't wait for that 35.
Yeah. I mean, if we get 35 degrees, I don't even care what you're going to serve me, man. We're just going to enjoy it. I'm perfectly fine. Anything goes.
All right. Do you feel like continuing down the ride?
Dos. Yeah, man, let's do it. This is a clear one.
Yes. Ooh. Cheers.
That was really smooth.
Yeah, something nice and refreshing. It's a little Mahone gin.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's quite nice.
I'm glad. I just like the bottle. It's like a green bottle with a hook on it. It's just so fucking cool. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I see your point.
I know the product. I've seen it before.
So after talking to a few of your friends, I like the main thing they said about you. Of course, they said a lot of nice things, like, Jesper's such a nice person, he's a really good friend, all this stuff. But almost every single one at the end of the message, it had a but. He's a Manchester United fan.
Why is that a but?
I don't know. That's the question. Why do you think people hate on Man U so much?
They're just jealous of all the success we've had. That's a fair point. No, there's a lot of emotions in football, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, I dish it out, so I need to be able to sort of take some as well, and it's perfectly fine. I don't know, man. I've been following Man United since I was 11 years old.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been on it for a long time then.
I've been on it for a long time. I don't really follow them that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they're playing at 30 minutes. So depending on how long this is going to take, I might watch the game. But I used to play football like 24/7. It was everything in my life.
Yeah.
And obviously, sort of my team was at the center of it. But getting injured and not being able to play anymore, and sort of finding a new passion in life and finding a new hobby, which this is basically me. I mean, I've always wanted to be a pro footballer, which is basically like making money doing what you love.
Exactly.
And it didn't turn out to be football, but I still get paid to do what I love, which is now cocktails and spirits. So that's still fortunate.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, having worked weekends for 11 years, it's really difficult to get up in the morning and watch football at 1:30 in the afternoon and then go to work for 12 hours. I'm just gonna sleep, man. That's fine. But I don't know how people hate on it.
I don't know. I mean, you're all doing the same thing, right? Some, of course, are a little luckier than others at certain moments in time, but come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really bought into this whole, I mean, if you love one, you have to hate the other. Whereas as if you're a fan of a club, you have to hate like the rivals, or you have to hate them. I don't really get that. That's a bit odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few clubs that I genuinely dislike. And there's one club, it's Man City, but that's because they're cunts. But other than that,
with reasoning like this,
don't get me into that. There's 10 different reasons. But some of the other rivals, I mean, I know we're supposed to like hate them and the other ones, and they're sort of the closest rivals we have, but I just don't really get that. If it's a good team and they've good players, why should I hate them? I don't really get that. I'm perfectly fine with people hating us, which is whatever.
Yeah,
can't really be bothered, man. It's fine. I don't really get it. I'm a football fan, but I'm not that hardcore football fan.
I see. But I didn't know that you played football for the majority of your life.
I did. I started out when I was 8, I think.
Shit.
And by the time I was 17, I think, I played semi-professional.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. So
that's
I played,
killer, man.
I played for first team football since I was 14. Yeah, that's about right, 14. Oh, wow. And then I went a little bit back and forth playing youth and then playing seniors. But I've on a regular basis, I've trained with first team players since I was 14 in various clubs.
Yeah.
And then I was just turned 19. And I said, all right, there's school and there's a lot of stuff going on. Just going to take a year. I'm going to go back to my local club. I'm going to play with them. And they were doing really well. And we did really well. And then I tore all the ligaments in my left shoulder between my rotator cuff and the collarbone. I injured that in a match, and I haven't been able to play ever since. I was a goalie, and obviously you sort of need to use your hands being a goalie. And I've tried a few times. When I moved to Copenhagen, I tried to pick up again. So my mate got me down with his local football club. I went there for a couple of months. It was really good, and it felt all right. And then they moved me up to play into the first team, which is now playing in second division. And it's just 2 weeks in, and I can't do this. I can't lift my hand in the morning. I can't use my arm when I'm at work. It's not going to fly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I haven't actually played any for 8 years now, and my arm's been shit for 14 years now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I
feel old, man. 14 years. Christ.
No, it's okay. You still hopefully have quite a few to go. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just realizing I've been a Man United fan for almost 23 years now. That's a lot of years, man.
That's nice. Racking them up.
Yeah, man. No. So yeah, I did used to play quite a lot, but it sort of fell in between with a lot of things happening in my life. So finishing up school, need to figure out what I need to do, and then all of a sudden I couldn't play football anymore. It's just not, all right, what's going to go? What's going to happen? So I quit my job. I packed everything I had. I went to New Zealand for 6 weeks, and I went to Thailand for 3 weeks, and I came back. So now, fuck it, I'm moving to Copenhagen. And then 2 months later, I was sleeping in a walk-in closet at my friend's house for 4 months before I found an apartment. And I've been
sounds about right.
Been here since.
Well, with a start like that, who wouldn't want to stay?
Yeah, exactly. Just look at it now. I actually have a place to stay now. It's fantastic.
Man, you're crushing it. But that's cool, man. Playing sports, that was always something that, you would see on the field and you're like, oh man, like that guy he's crushing it, and then that one kid, he does actually go on and go forth. I was more on the other side, where I was just like the kid who played, because it was a really small town, so I just played sports to play sports, right?
Yeah.
Because the team was 100 kids. It was participation trophies type of thing, right? And so I was just there. You get a little sandwich, just because you showed up. It was really fun. But that's sort of my thing with sports. But that's really cool.
I think it starts like that for most people. And I mean, I remember because my dad played a lot of football, and he was a coach, and I had him for as a coach for a couple of years as well. And he said, no, he really tried to sort of get me interested since I was really young, like 4 or 5, and I didn't want to do it. So he tried to take me down to the local team a few times, the local club, and says, I enjoyed just running around doing stuff, but I didn't really want to play. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, when I turned, I think 8 or 9 or something, we went to see some of my friends from school, and they were playing this match, and there's oh shit, we need a goalie. And then one of my friends said, oh no, Jesper's here, he's tall. And then they literally just, in jeans and a t-shirt, they just chucked me into goals. And all right, I guess this is what I'm going to do then.
Yep.
And I literally just went on from there. But it was just pure fun until I turned 14. Mm-hmm. And then I started training with the seniors at my local club. Mm-hmm. And then said, all right, this is actually going quite well. I think I'm actually getting pretty good at this. And then when I turned 16, I got drafted to the regional team.
Shit.
From that team, I think we were 21 players for about 3 years or something. And 4 of them actually got on to be pros. One of them is still, I think he had about 8 or 9 years in Italy playing pro. And during that time, a lot of them made the national teams. And I remember coming back after summer vacation, and I was just sitting there with one of my friends from the teams, and what did you do? Oh yeah. So no, I went to Germany to do a trial at a club, and then I went to Chelsea and do a little trial. I said, are you fucking kidding me?
I just say that so casually.
Yeah. No, I had 2 weeks in London. So I said, all right, well, fuck, I just went to a beach house with my parents, but okay, here we are. But no, I mean, everything worked out. I'm quite happy. I didn't really get into pro football. I think the person I am today would actually be bored with all the spare time I know they have.
Yeah.
I get quite restless when there's nothing to do, which is never, because I work in spirits and I have 2 kids, so there's always stuff to do.
Always stuff to do.
Yeah, so things worked out. It was a long haul, and it was really sad, and I was really, really depressed when I got my injury. But
Of course.
I'm quite happy with the way things turned out. It usually works out, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then, like you said, now you have a place to stay.
Yeah. I moved out of the closet, and actually, yeah.
It's always nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right, you're already on the 3rd one.
oh, did you? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm pouring.
Are you feeling fine? Feeling okay right now, right?
Well, I have to be fine. If I'm not fine after number 2, what's going to happen to me?
I don't know.
Yeah, man, let's dig into it. Cheers.
All right.
All right, that was a little bit more harsh.
Yeah, it can be. It's a little aquavit. So aquavit can, can hit you some different ways sometimes.
Don't get me wrong, it's tasty, but the ethanol is a bit more fragrant in that one.
Yeah, fragrant.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it is. Well, so I actually heard that you make a lot of like at-home cordials and different infusions at home.
Yeah, I mean, now I just do it for work, basically. So there's a bit of consultancy in what I do now.
Right.
So we do have a couple of contracts where I'm sort of a part of the contract. So I'm just helping out with consulting on drinks and menus and stuff like that. And I usually test that at home because we do have a bar at the office, but obviously we're not allowed to be at the office anymore.
Right.
So right now I'm doing it at home, which is fine. I started a company just because I really love the prep shifts in bars. I really, really love them, man. It's being in the kitchen with the music going and just batching up for the weekend. That was absolutely amazing. So
that is a fun part of shift for sure.
It really is. I really enjoy all the kitchen techniques. I think it's really cool how many of those kitchen techniques and just kitchen techniques in general is actually a part of how you sort of prep and how you sort of think as a bartender now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I mean, you're microwaving cocktails and you're sous vide cocktails and you're like flash infusions and everything. It's really cool because it just allows us to do stuff we couldn't do before.
Exactly.
And I'm really trying to sort of learn a lot about that and sort of use it in my work, and obviously make sure that it's a venue that actually is prepared to do all the weird cordials that I want to do. But it's working out quite fine. No, I started a company in I think it was 2014 with my friend Mass, which is called Tall Guy Spirits.
Tall Guy Spirits, yes.
Yeah. And we sort of specialized in pre-made cocktails, as in proper pre-made. So I literally stood in the kitchen the day before they were supposed to be delivered, squeezing juices and making syrups. But I think the whole business plan and the whole setup was not really profitable, because crikey, I spent a lot of time just standing there making raspberry syrup for basically like four cocktails, and this is way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that. We did like weren't really syrups, but we did sort of aquavit infusions with a bit of sugar in it,
right?
To sort of make them a little bit more easygoing for people generally not really fans of aquavit. And we got some amazingly good feedback, like really proper good feedback. So I think we did about 8 or 10 different flavors.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of did a whole bunch and then just tried to sell it. That's why I got my maintenance, because he's a really good sales rep, and I'm really shit. I'm educated in sales, but I'm so bad at it.
Are you really? I feel like you'd be such a nice salesman. You'd come in like, "Hey, who wants to drink?" You know, like you'd be so happy.
but that's why ambassador is really my thing, because I can get people really excited about stuff. As in, oh, how much is it? As in, oh, let me introduce you to my colleague because he knows numbers and he can do a really good discount.
There you go.
I really don't want to talk numbers, but I really want to talk spirits. So that really works out to my benefit, because we didn't really make a lot of money. We had so much fun doing it. And looking back, I think we didn't start anything because obviously, but I think we were a little bit early on the whole pre-made cocktails at home.
Yeah.
But the idea was, but I mean, I'm working at Liquid at the moment, at the time when we started. And the whole idea was just, all right, I want to do what we're doing at the bar, but I want to bring that into people's homes. So that is fresh juices. And now I'm working a lot with different, with like different assets, and you're using vinegar and using rishu, and you're using a whole lot of different things to bring in that little bit of citrusy without having to use really easy or like citrus juice that's just going to go bad, because it is. You can't really get around it unless you're Remy Savage, and I'm absolutely not him. So yeah, it was really fun, and I learned a lot of stuff, but I also burned a lot of money with that little company. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it happens, right?
Yeah.
At least you had fun. It does sound like fun.
It was really fun. It was really fun. I think sort of the tip of the iceberg for us, or sort of the pinnacle for the company, was, I think it was New Year's 16, probably. I think so. So we had a little pop-up shop at Magazine.
Okay.
So down by the Food and Wine, just by the escalators. They have like different shops, and then we actually had a shop for 4 days. We set up a little bar. People could come down and sit and have a drink, and then they could come in and they could pre-order drinks with us, and then we did it behind the bar, put them into bottles, and then you could bring it home for New Year's Eve. And that was, it was 4 days with about 16 hours of work every day. But it was amazingly fun. It was super, super cool. We got some really good feedback, but again, we barely made any money. So yeah, it's I really love doing new things, but I'm not good at making money, apparently.
Well, I mean, that's okay, right? At least you're having fun.
Yeah. I mean, the company didn't burn to the ground, and I didn't lose all my life savings, and
then that's a success.
I didn't have to move into the streets. So with all things considered, I think it was okay. I still have stock left from that time, so I think I still have 16 or 17 bottles of aquavit standing in my basement. That's literally just collecting dust for 5 years now.
There you go. You can bring it back in a few years. You can bring back like taller guy spirits or something. You guys have leveled up or something.
Yeah, or I'm just every time we go to a party, it's just like, oh, should we bring flowers? Nah, fuck it, man. I'll give them a bottle of aquavit. That's fine. They'll be happy.
It's a solid housewarming gift. Anytime you go anywhere, always bring a little bottle. Or at shopping, it's super nice because we have like those 25 CL bottles. You bring like 2 of those.
Brilliant.
Super nice.
It's alcohol. People will be happy.
They are, especially during lockdown. You come over and you bring booze, and they're like, "Oh, thank God,
you're my hero."
All right. Shall we press on?
Let's do it. Which one's this? I keep forgetting I have a beer.
Oh yeah, come on.
It's really lovely, by the way. Really good. That's a really good beer.
Oh yeah, it's super crisp and clean. It's exactly what you want in a little pilsner.
Exactly. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, going again. Cheers.
That was a bit funky.
Did a little back-to-back for you. Two different aquavits. Both of them were Cebu, actually. It was the dill and then their caraway.
That's pretty heavy on the caraway, though.
Yes, in the name.
It's lovely. It's really good. It's really good. I quite enjoy those. We at Liquid we work quite a lot with the Alba one, Rød Alba.
Yeah.
Which is like 100% caraway.
Yeah, that's also pretty nice though.
It really is. I mean, it's a little bit harsh to sort of just down in a go, especially like room temperature.
Yeah, as a shot.
But absolutely, man, in cocktails, definitely work some stuff. I think Colin did a really decent daiquiri with it. I can't remember what's in it.
I bet that'd make a killer daiquiri though. That'd be super nice. Something
Yeah,
really fresh and like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It was a white rum and a bit of aquavit. I can't remember what's in it. We had so many different daiquiris.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh yeah, doing like old drink specs is always really really difficult. We had a staff meeting the other day, and Blondie was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a spec test," and we're all thinking, "Okay, current specs, sure."
Yeah.
And he pulls out the Bible, like the old school, and he's like, "What is the rye or die?" And you're like, look at him, you're like, "God damn it, dude, I don't know." Just coming at you.
That's quite interesting because I mean, besides I do obviously a lot of trainings and tastings with our brands and sort of introducing all the products to people. I have gone out to quite a few bars or restaurants where I'm sort of trained to staff in bartending.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, people actually ask us, what about the specs? Because we have like 8 drinks and I can't remember all the specs. And, well, honestly, you sort of have to. And said, but how do you do it? Said, well, memory is a tricky thing because I can teach you how I memorize, but I can't teach you how you should memorize because obviously our brains might work differently.
Yeah.
And then I always tell a story about when I first started at Liquid. One of the managers was called Jesper Pay, who's I think he's still working at Sanchez. Like incredibly knowledgeable guy. He's a fantastic bartender, and he's an even better person. And he really helped shape me into being the bartender that I ended up being. And I remember we were doing like busy Thursday or Friday night, and then I had a couple of groups of guys, and then they ordered Singapore slings.
Yeah.
I said, fuck, I can't remember the specs. So like 3 times in one evening, I went to the iPad to check out the specs for the Singapore sling. And then the 3rd time I did it, after I served the drink, he came up to me and then he said, if I see you go up to the iPad for a Singapore sling another time, I'm going to have to redo the test or something like that. So I said, Jesus Christ. All right, fuck it. I said, don't worry, I'm opening the bar tomorrow. Come in and spot check me tomorrow. I'll have it down. Yeah. And I, honest to God, went home and spent about 2 hours reading the specs after that shift. And I spent the whole morning just rehearsing that spec. Yeah. And I use that as a reference point. So I'm pretty sure if I don't shake another drink for the next 20 years, you can wake me up in the middle of the night and I'll still remember that spec. But I just really had to imprint it because otherwise he's going to fucking kill me if I have to go to the iPad one more time. Yeah. You need to have that sort of stubbornness to learn. Otherwise, it's just going to be really difficult because if you don't really care about if you remember or not, then you're never going to remember.
Yeah, you also need to find like the right method that you can remember things on. Right? Yeah. Like for me, I have to write everything down because I could read something over and over again, but I would never remember it. So unless I like fully take notes or like do something like this, yeah, it's just lost. And so like Blondie, he just memorizes by like doing stuff, and so he'll just do something and they'll look at you and he'll just tell you a spec, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's that, and like and then you know what I mean. So
and I think that's quite interesting because I think I'm probably somewhere in between. So obviously, I mean, learning by doing is the best way of doing it, and you can memorize the spec, but it's going to be so much easier once you've done it in your bar once or twice, because then you'll also sort of and then you'll remember something. All right, the second ingredient I need to do is with my left hand, so it's over here. Oh, it's juice, and then so there's a little bit of muscle memory in that as well. But just sitting down and actually just looking at your computer or looking at your piece of paper and just memorizing it, I've sort of always just repeated it. And I've sort of sectioned it. So obviously first I looked at sort of, is there any sort of, can I organize the numbers first? So if there's a daiquiri or if it's a sour, it's like, all right, it's like 6, 3, 1.5. All right, that's like 6, half and half. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. And then even like with the Singapore sling, so the recipe I had to do was really easy to section it because we're like, if you look at it from the spirit and then all the way down, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1 dash. All right, that's a little bit rhythmical actually.
Yeah, that's super nice.
I'll remember that, and then I'll know the measurements, and it's just a matter of getting the ingredients. And then I memorized all the ingredients, and then I memorized the taste. And so, all right, if I remember sort of the numerals and I remember the ingredients, I remember the taste, I should be able to put all those three things together.
Yeah, you can sort of solve the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just adding an ingredient to a number that sort of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit of a complicated way of remembering, but it actually really worked for me. And I think I've always been fairly good at memorizing my specs. I'm sure that there's a few people from my early days at Liquid who's going to disagree, because Jesus Christ, it took me a while to get in there. But I think it's just a matter of finding your own way, because a lot of people learn or remember things by actually writing it down or sort of saying it aloud. And then some people just say, fuck it, let's just I'll make 3 drinks and then I'll never forget.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, yeah, like you said, sort of finding your own balance, finding out exactly what works for you. I can easily sort of explain over and over how I do it, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the world that's going to make it find any sense in my way of doing it.
I don't know. It does in a way it does make sense, because like if you know the numbers and then you know just like the general ingredients, you could, piece them together. I can see that, but it is kind of a roundabout way.
It is,
but if it works, it works.
But it's sort of the reversed way, because at first, I mean, if you get a job at a new bar and you sort of, either if you start in the bar or you need to start on the floor, because obviously that's a really important part of being a bartender, is you also need to tend the floor. So all right, you need to know what it looks like and what it tastes like. Because if people say, what's that? You need to know what it is. And if people say, what does it taste like? You need to know what it tastes like.
Yeah, exactly.
Secondly, you need to know what's in it, because do you have anything with that and that ingredient? You need to know everything that's in it. And then when you get into the bar, you need to know how much is in it. So that is basically what I'm doing. I'm just doing it the other way around. So I'm starting with how much is in it, and then I'm working my way up to how does it look and how does it taste. Right. So yeah, I think that's sort of because I started obviously doing a lot of floor shifts. And then says, no, I need to know what it looks like, I need to know what it tastes like, and I need to know the ingredients, and now I need to know the actual measurements. And then standing behind the bar, you need to do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
Because you can't reason, oh yeah, I remember it tastes like that. Says, mate, it's been 30 seconds, fucking get on it, make that drink. All right, that's fair part. So I need to be in that sense. But yeah, it's a bit of a roundabout, but I think most of the ways, I mean, the way that I usually think is a bit of a detour.
Well, that's fine. It's all about how you get there, right? It's the journey.
It's the journey. It is. It is, and it's fun. It's long, but it's fun.
It is fun. I think one of the best ones I've ever heard was someone like recording themselves saying the specs out loud, and then listening to it like on a walk. Like, like if you like take a little late night walk, then you just sort of listen to the specs and you're like, okay, like kind of almost like a podcast. And
commitment. I like it.
Really going for it.
You go all in. You go all in, just do reviews. Oh, I'm sitting here, I'm tasting a daiquiri, and it tastes like.
Absolutely.
You need to be a bit self-censored a bit if you like really just listen to yourself reviewing a cocktail. Reviewing's maybe a little bit much. I could understand maybe like a lot of people reviewing, right? If you're listening to like kind of a show that's like reviewing cocktails. But yeah, I don't know. If it's just one person, that's only one opinion, right? And if it's your own opinion, this isn't like, remember you really like this. Oh man, fair enough. I think that would be really cool to have. I mean, I'm really happy we're getting a few more podcasts, because I really enjoy listening to industry podcasts, but most of them are sort of centered in markets of a fair bit away from our own. So I'm really happy to see there's a few ones popping up. And it would be really nice. I don't really care about people reviewing a bar. It's fine. I'll make my own opinion. That's fine. I don't need you to give it like 4 or 5 out of 6 stars. Who cares? I really generally don't care. But I remember, so there's like a food podcast. I can't remember the name of it, but they have like a fairly famous Danish actor sort of read food reviews.
Okay.
And they're semi-sensual. It's like, oh, this sauce is just reminding me of something. Why not do that with a drink, man? Like, seriously, I think obviously we're industry people, so we really love cocktails, but sometimes you just get into a bar, you sit there, and you get that drink that just fits everything. It's just everything you really want out of it being a drink system. man, put it into words and read it because I want to hear it. That would be really cool.
Some of it could be really weird too. I can imagine.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
If you're like really describing like what it feels like and like what it tastes like, I'm sure that can get all sorts of strange angles from there.
Yeah, I mean, feelings you should probably keep to yourself.
No, put them
at
in.
least in that sense. At least in that sense. Not about obviously. I mean, that's a whole different topic with like how do you feel and mental health and everything. But I think like connecting flavors and feelings absolutely works, and it really just makes so much sense. And it's quite often I think that's sort of what I'm looking for when looking down a menu. Obviously, what do you feel like? I want something refreshing. I want something sour, and I want something. Give me your best drink. Whatever people say.
I like that one. Give me a
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
It's always the one that like the premix is the lowest, right? Like it's the one that you kind of need to take off the board. You're like, this is the best.
Yeah, or just sort of be a little bit cheeky with people. Just, all right, what do you like? I like gins. All right, here's 70 mils of the driest gin I have. There you go. I don't want that. Well, mate, you want a gin? No, but I think I really just looking into feelings. I try to replicate feelings that I get from drinks, not replicate a drink I had in a bar. Not sort of trying to what was in it, but I felt like that when I had a drink. How can I make a drink that's going to make me somewhat the same way? And I think that saying out loud, it sounds really, really weird.
Oh, not at all.
Because obviously, I mean, most drinks that I sort of try to replicate the feeling is if you go travel, or if you go to a bar you've never been to, or the first time you go into a bar and you chat with the bartender, you become friends and it becomes like a regular bar you go to. Usually I said, what did that drink make me feel like? Why was I so intrigued by that drink? Why was I so intrigued by the bar and by the bartender and by the atmosphere? What made me really remember that drink? Because I can't remember what's in it, but I remember exactly how I felt like when I had the first sip.
Yeah.
And I've done that more than once, trying to replicate a feeling that I had. My wife and I had like a couple of years where we went to London. And then we just went bar hopping, and every now and then went to like just go to a pub and have a beer, but went to a lot of the really cool bars. And I never really there's quite a few, and there's still a long list we haven't gone through.
Yeah.
And now we haven't been for 3 or 4 years now. But I never tried to remember what's in the drink. I also tried to remember sort of what sensations that I get when I actually tried the drink, and then sort of build on that into making my own drink.
Right.
And I think that's a really cool way of thinking about it, because as you said, I mean, there's so many things in drinking, and there's so many different senses sort of being triggered when you actually have something that you really like, and when all your flavor senses is really just being provoked in some way.
Yeah.
I think for me that really works, and that's always, if I try to make a drink for myself, I sort of, what do I feel like? What feeling do I want to try and raise within myself?
That is the go-to, you know. I mean, because as much as things should obviously taste good, and if they're made in a nice quality, they will for sure taste good. But you do want to connect to like a feeling, right?
Yeah.
You do want to give that type of experience, even if it is just for yourself. I do the same just at home. Like if you're looking for a drink, you're like, what do I feel like? And like, I should make this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I mean, have you ever watched the Disney movie Ratatouille?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great movie.
So that really last part of it, where the rat is actually serving that really old school French farmer dish to that really fancy highbrow food critic. So that is exactly what's going on there. He eventually gives it an amazing review because they serve a dish which is simple, but it provokes memories that he actually sort of felt he'd lost. Exactly. That is somewhat what I'm looking for when making drinks, and especially for myself, because obviously I only know what exactly I'm looking for in sort of flavors and feelings. What do I want? I remember that one time I went to that bar in London and everything was just perfect. We had a great day, and it just hit the right spot. What can I do to sort of make me hit that spot once more? And it's really difficult, and you need to really like have had a lot of drinks to sort of navigate the different flavors. But I think I've found a level where I'm fairly confident in I know exactly what I want at different times.
Nice.
And I still get asked that question. What's your favorite drinks? And I have about 50 of them.
Yeah, there is quite a few.
There is quite a few, and it's always something different. It's the same as what's your favorite dish? That depends.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends. Like, is it a really sunny day on a Sunday, or is it like a cold Monday night, or is it a Friday? You know, like what do you? Those are three very different dishes, three very different drinks. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of bartenders go for the Negroni, but again, if go back to the 35 degrees in the sun, I don't think I'll be sipping on a Negroni on the beach.
No way.
35 degrees.
Grab a little Paloma or something.
Oh my God, I'd love that.
Yeah, something in like a big glass with lots of ice. Just super interesting.
Exactly.
There you go. All right. Shall we
let's do it.
Mosey on down the train. Which one is this? Ooh. Because I speaking of memory, I did not memorize the list tonight, so I have it written down.
Well, this is a bit sweet.
Yeah, a little Santiago de Cuba.
Mellow.
Very mellow.
I'm 95% sure that rum is made in the old Bacardi distillery.
This could be a truth. This could be a truth about the world.
I'm pretty sure I've read it somewhere because Santiago de Cuba is where Bacardi started.
Ah, okay.
And they fled Cuba in 1960. I'm pretty sure. I know that rum's still being produced in that old distillery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 95% sure that's that rum. Obviously, flavor-wise, got nothing to do with Bacardi.
No, that's
it's just a funny story. I might
nice
have to double check. Please, nobody quote me on that. Because I'm not too sure. Well, I'm 95% sure because I read it somewhere. But
95%. I mean, that's much better than 94%.
Yeah, if you have the bottle, can you show me the bottle? Then I'll probably be 98% sure.
98%. This guy.
Oh, that might not be the one.
Oh, there's a really bad glare on it. I don't know.
That's fine. I see it. It might be the one. I don't know how many rum distilleries still live in Santiago.
Oh, I don't think there's many. Nothing.
It was tasty though. It was really tasty.
I'm glad.
It was a good rum, man.
It's just a really easy one, and I figured for shot 5, something like
it was good call. That's a good call.
So we talked about it a little bit, but you have two daughters, right?
I do, yes. So the oldest is just turned 2, almost a month ago, and the youngest is almost 8 months now. Right. I'm looking at my wife to confirm 8 months. I'm pretty sure. No, she's from late July, so it's 8 months.
Yeah. Wow. All right, man. How's it been? How are you doing it?
It's good. I mean, I've always get sort of a bad conscience talking about sort of the positive during a pandemic, and I know a lot of people are really struggling with the situation in the world. But from a personal perspective, obviously, I think it's a good thing to sort of look at the positive in a really shit situation. Mm-hmm. But I have been really fortunate that one, I got to work full time throughout the entire pandemic so far, so that's really, 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 really lucky.
Yeah.
Secondly, I've been able to work from home, so I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family. Yeah. Which is obviously fantastic, but especially with my daughters being the age that they are, I've been able to sort of be a bit more involved than I probably would have otherwise, which has been fantastic. I know there's a lot of people that still works in the industry and work nights and have kids. I just want to hats off, man, for those people. It's working a 9-to-5 job. Basically, it was not quite 9 to 5, but being a day worker and having kids it's a challenge, and it's a fantastic challenge, but it is a challenge. And thinking about people owning and running a bar and working nights and having kids is, oh my God, you're my heroes. I can't believe you're doing it. it's quite something extraordinary. But yeah, I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy. I mean, my wife and I have been together for 8 years. So it was long overdue. Some might say. That sort of depends. But it sort of just fitted in. We have, from a very, very early stage, been very upfront talking about everything.
Yeah.
And I always promised her that once we agreed to sort of settle down, get married, and have kids, I'd find a way to sort of not work nights.
Right.
And I think that's one of not the primary reason, but it's one of the first reasons why I sort of started looking at jobs outside the bar within the industry.
Yeah.
Is because we wanted to get married, we want to have kids. And I know some people still make it work, working nights and having children. I know myself well enough to know that's not going to be me. Yeah, I'm so disorganized in my day-to-day routine. And I really find comfort in sort of regular structures.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can work from A to Z, and then when I'm off, I'm off. I don't have to worry about being on call if there's somebody sick in the bar or really nice. Something that's similar. And this job actually sort of gives me a bit of freedom to sort of be there in the afternoon and sit down for every meal with my family and tuck the kids in, and still being able to sit sometimes during the evening and actually sort of do the job. I don't have to be, I'm sort of on call 24/7, even when I'm holiday. So I think for the first 3 years of my Bacardi life, I never put an auto response on my email. Even on our honeymoon, I actually replied a few emails, which made me really unpopular.
Yeah,
it was necessary.
Is she like looking at you right now, being like, "Yeah, you did that"?
No. I think she's sort of just tuning me out. But no. She confronted me. It was perfectly fine. But it was again one of those things where my sort of situation is a bit different. Because I'm employed by Bacardi, but Bacardi don't have any office or company in Denmark, so I'm working through a distributor.
Right.
And there's nobody to sort of hand out my work to. So if there's something that needs to be done by me, I can say, all right, I'm off for 2 weeks. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. But I just have to do it when I come back because there's nobody else doing it. So it's all right, fuck it. Either it's 1 hour in sort of 2.5 weeks responding to emails, and then I'm fine, or it's just leaving everything and then shit's burning when I come back. Well, shit's not burning, but I mean, right. It's sort of finding that sort of flexibility in the job, because it can be really good, but it can also be a bit of a curse. Because again, as I said, and I've said this sort of jokingly, but it's actually true. So I'm never off. I just take long breaks. Yeah, that is not completely untrue. I do still have bartenders and bar owners texting me and sometimes calling me after 8 o'clock in the evening, which is fine. I'll just ignore the phone if I don't have the time. But more often than not, if I do actually respond, yeah, which is my own fault. But I do feel it's a bit of my obligation, because I am in a situation where I mean, my exact job description or my title is actually trade ambassador, right, which is Bacardi ways of saying that I sort of cover the entire portfolio. Basically, what it means, or what I've sort of put into it, is that I am an ambassador for all our products to the trade, but I'm also an ambassador for the trade inside the company. Right. I see. So I try to sort of say, well, we need to do this for the bartenders. We need to sort of focus a bit more on the on-trade. Luckily, I'm working for a company that knows exactly how much bartenders actually influence everything, and how much bartenders it's really actually helpful. Is important for our brands. Yeah. So that's a really easy part of the job. Yeah, that's really nice. But it really is. But it's in a lot of ways, what I do is basically try to show the importance of the bartender, not just like bar managers at the most influential bars, but every single bartender working with our products is actually like the real brand ambassador for Bacardi or Bombay or
Right.
Banks or whatever.
Something.
I'm not really, because I don't care for the average guest in a cocktail bar. I am nobody and I should be nobody. I don't care for those people. The bartenders and the people working in the bar and the servers in the bar, they care.
Yes.
And that's why it's really, really important that we spend a lot of time educating and assisting and supporting and doing all sorts of things for people, not just through our sort of big brand programs that we have, but also just doing small things like the Daiquiri Day competition we did during the summer, which is fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, that was a really fun day. But man, I got wasted off of all those free daiquiris. Because like after everyone's turn, all their daiquiris, you guys just let them have it, and that was bad. That was rough.
I can't remember the numbers, but I guarantee you, we served so many daiquiris you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I totally believe it. Everyone was going super in. It was also such a nice day, right? Like it was one of those days where you could wear a shirt and a t-shirt, or sorry,
we were really lucky, and we were super lucky that sort of it was right in the middle of the summer, so it was basically just between two lockdowns. I remember
it was
the restrictions were that we couldn't gather more than 100 people, so we sort of just like once every 30 minutes, let's do a head count. How many people is actually in here? That's fine, we're fine. But it was like events like that is just, it's really, really important for me to do stuff like that, and it's really, really important for me that I work for a company or for people that actually just says, man, if it's going to help and if it's going to make bartenders and people from the industry happy, man, let's just do it.
That's the thing. I think it's so important for morale. Like morale is a huge part of our job, because if you get bogged down, then your service goes down. Like maybe your memory goes down. Like your entire job gets affected by that. It's like you need to feel good about what you're doing.
Exactly. And we sort of need these things because obviously, I mean, education and knowledge and skill are all really, really important. But I mean, now more than ever, we really need to be united. We need to come together, and we need to make sure that everybody's in the industry really wants to be in this industry, because we are on the verge of probably losing a lot of people. Because of either it's bars shutting down, or it's bars having to let people go, or it's just there's not enough hours to keep on the part-time staff, and we might lose a lot of people.
Lots of reasons.
So we need to do whatever we can to sort of keep people in, keep people happy, show them exactly what this industry can do for you. And these are just one of the sort of easy, fun things that we can do. And luckily, more and more brands are doing it. It's really it's important that we educate, because obviously there's a lot of value in it for us as a brand. Of course. But even more, the value of having happy, talented, skilled, experienced bartenders and bar servers, that's just so much more important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so like if you do really want to look at it from a business side, I mean, then you have a happy memory associated with that sort of brand, right? Or you have a happy memory associated with that product.
Yeah.
I mean, there is benefit on the business side, but I think on the social side for the industry, it is bar and none so much more beneficial.
Yeah,
it's those types of events, especially that one, that was also coming off of like it was such a perfect storm. Like I'd just been working like a lot of days, and then like you get this event and it's fun, and you got to pick your own music. I think I played some weird like gay trap music, and like it was super strange. Like just because you could pick anything, and I was like, fuck it, like let's go for this,
I'm pretty sure we're going to do, well, maybe not the exact same setup, but we are probably going to do a daiquiri competition again. I'm quite sure. I might have to rethink the format, because there was a lot of free daiquiris. That's a good thing, because that means that all the bartenders did a lot of daiquiris, but there were also a few daiquiris a few bartenders without mentioning any names, that they had a spillage like you would not believe.
Of course.
They serve 7 daiquiris and they use 4 bottles of rums for just those 7 daiquiris. Mate, that's not really adding up. So I might have to
No, are you
sort
sure?
of, yeah, pretty sure. I'm
I
pretty
don't know,
sure.
man.
I might have to rethink the rules just a little bit.
Yeah,
But
just a little bit.
I mean, obviously, as long as we're allowed to gather that many people,
Exactly.
and obviously taking into consideration that we need to make sure that everybody is still safe, and either if you're vaccinated or not, we make sure that we follow all restrictions, make sure that there's still sanitizers and everything, because obviously we need all hands on deck for making sure that bars and shops and everything else stays open.
Yes.
So I'd never do anything that sort of jeopardizes that, never in a million years. But I do also recognize the fact that we really need these sorts of events, especially now, probably now more than ever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we haven't been able to go into a bar for 3.5 months now. It's
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and then sort of bless you.
Oh, excuse me, thank you.
No worries, man. And I'm thinking about this, I've sort of been joking about this. It's going to be our repeal day, and it's going to be this, and yeah, but it's been 3.5 months, and like prohibition was 13 years.
Yeah. Okay.
I do feel a bit spoiled.
It is funny whenever you put it like that. It's also,
I need a drink, man. It's been almost a quarter of a year. Spoiled little brat.
There's been a few people that have taken dry January and extended it until like kind of around now. Like there's been a few people that have really gone for it.
Yeah, and I don't really believe in dry January. I respect people doing it.
Of course.
I really do. I'd never actively do anything to sort of jeopardize it. And come on, man, just one drink. That's fine. That's your decision. But I mean, if you do everything in moderation, you don't really need to have that sort of extreme, I'm not going to touch anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree and disagree with that one, because whenever it's your friend, you do kind of mess with them a little bit. Like Yarrick was doing dry January, and it was really hard to not mess with him whenever like at the end of the shift and you have a beer and you're like, oh, this is refreshing, man. Are you sure you don't want one? And then he just looks and he's like, you know what, Logan, you're being a knob. And he like just being fucking leaves. Sometimes it's funny, but for the most part, I totally agree. Peer pressure is not okay. But
no, and it's especially in sort of this industry, because I mean there's a few people that sort of get a little bit too tempted, and it's really easy to get tempted because there's so much good stuff around you, and it's really easy to make yourself a drink or just have a wee dram while you're in service and everything. But I don't think it's as demonized as some people make it out to be.
No, not here at least.
No, I mean it might be bad somewhere, but from all the people that I know, and I can't remember a single person that I've worked with who's actually had just like a proper drinking problem. And it might be me being a bit naive. I'm not gonna.
No, of course. I mean, sure. But
I know we have a lot of people in the industry that likes to go out, and that's perfectly fine, because you also need to blow off steam.
Yes.
Because of the mental stress and everything that sort of goes with the job. That's fine. But I think a lot of people sort of make it out to be a lot worse than it actually is. Especially now with sort of this whole plan that the city hall just announces, and no, we need to educate bar staff and not serving drunk people. And what do you think we've been doing for the past 15 years, mate? Isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's really what I've been doing, but I guess, sure, educate us.
Yeah. Teach me how not to pour any shots for 10 crowns for a guy that's puking.
Actually, did you see that? I think Fanny put it up on her Instagram, that picture with Meta today, with the kid in the background that was like flipping off the camera. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, out of school. Oh, that was hilarious.
I actually
it's also still up. Like it's still up there.
I actually texted her on Instagram when I saw that on her stories. And what are you guys going to do if she's going to try to something similar? If she's going to walk into the barking dog once you're allowed to open, and she's going to do a similar pose, and I've been chatting to the bartenders and they're really happy. And if that kid's flipping her off, what are you guys going to do? Like, seriously.
You could like replace the bottles and make them, sort of gear them to a big middle finger instead of actually flipping them off yourself, right?
Yeah.
Not you. That's just the design of the shelf.
Yeah. It's out of my hands. I can't really do it. It's just, that's our decor.
All right, my friend. Are you ready for this?
Already
Oh,
bored, man.
wow. You fucking prepared. Something nice to finish you off with.
Cheers, man.
Here's my man.
Oh,
A little bit of scotch for your life.
Smoky.
Yeah, a little Portuskeg for you.
That was lovely. I don't have any malts in my portfolio, so I rarely drink whiskey anymore.
Yeah, I guess you don't, do you?
But don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people that only drink my own stuff. Absolutely not. But obviously, I don't really engage in sort of the whiskey part of the industry anymore, work-wise at least.
Right.
I do have quite a few bottles at home.
Mhm.
That's usually what my go-to if I need something. But yeah, I don't want to be one of those ambassadors and I only drink my own stuff. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Of course not. But that's good. That actually brings me to my next question, because we've been talking a lot about events and like doing stuff like this. But if you could do a guest shift anywhere in the Danish bar scene, where would it be? And then what product would you want to use?
Oh, Jesus.
Right? Quite a few choices. Please take your time.
Actually, I'm going to do sort of the politician's answer for this.
Okay.
I don't have one bar that I think I prefer going into.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather do a guest shift somewhere that's not a bar and get to serve bartenders.
Very nice. Okay.
Because I like doing guest shifts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think they're relevant anymore.
No.
There's not any. The only value that I bring to a bar going in to do a guest shift is I work for free. There shouldn't be any news value for your guests saying, "Oh, the brand ambassador for Bacardi is coming in." And who cares? Like, honestly, nobody should care that I'm coming in making drinks. It should not be an attraction for people to come into your bar. The bartenders, the menu, the atmosphere, the people, that should be what's actually bringing people into the bar. And I don't really care in that equation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to bring in stock. I'd love to help making an extra menu. I'd love to do a bit of promotion. But actually going into a bar doing a guest shift, I want to do it, but there's so many things that's more beneficial to the bar.
Yeah.
So many different things. What really matters to me making drinks is I get to serve my products to the people I want to have working with my products.
Right.
Being, for instance, Daiquiri Day, where I sort of was over ambitious and ran the competition and stood in the bar at the same time.
Oh, but you were crushing it, man. You were full on.
I just looked up the numbers while we were talking. I did 155 daiquiris in 2.5 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
150. You should have been in the speed competition.
I might be next time. And I did the competition. Well, 2.5 hours. That was efficient bar time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did 150, 155 daiquiris.
That's pretty nuts, to be honest with you.
I think that was pretty decent. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, I would say so. There was a lot of daiquiris that did, but that really was so much fun. It really was.
It was.
A lot of your events are a blast. Even like the like martini racing ones.
Yes, I'm really sad we couldn't do more.
Yeah.
I'm still trying. I mean, luckily we've engaged Nick from Ebony and Ivory, who's sort of the unofficial Martini Ciclismo ambassador for Denmark.
Exactly.
So he's been to Italy twice. Well, first time by himself, and second time he had 2 bartenders with him. Mm-hmm. And we are still talking a bit about sort of trying to sort of relive it. It's not really in my plans for 21.
Right.
But we are probably, because I do have still quite a lot of racing gear sitting in the office that I want to give away to bartenders. So we are probably going to do a couple of rides just for fun. Once the weather gets just a little bit better. I know Nick already out riding and he's an absolute maniac. But
for sure already. He probably hasn't stopped.
No, no, exactly. I'm a bit more picky. I really don't want to go out if it's too windy or if it's too cold.
No, neither do I.
But yeah, I think we're probably going to see if we can set something up, because that's a program for bartenders. It doesn't really have anything to do with selling drinks or anything.
No, it's just something fun. It's like a hobby, really.
Yeah, it really is. And cycling's just been booming. I know there's quite a lot of people really getting into cycling, and
I've noticed that even in the city, like you see it a lot more in like I don't know. I don't really leave Nowbro very much, obviously, but you know, in Nowbro, there's always cyclists everywhere, like proper full on. You know, going
yeah,
fast, fucking going for it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Copenhagen is really a cyclist town, and it's been promoted more than once in various medias.
Hmm.
But if you're in the city, a lot of people it's a means of transportation, so you can clearly see they're going from A to B. But
Hmm.
if you just go a little bit outside the city, or even on the outside skirts of like Nørrebro,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people going up north who's actually like proper full on gear with a really
Yeah.
expensive bike. It's all right, you're clearly going to go 140k now.
Yeah. We're not going to see you for a long time.
Exactly. And I think there's quite a lot of people from the industry, not just bartenders, but I think chefs and
Hmm.
waiters and sommeliers and everything, that's sort of finding that hobby and that um, finding a way of getting that exercise you really need.
Hmm.
And I think this is just a really good way of doing it, because either you can do it as a team and it's relaxing and you can sort of just be by yourself and not really talk, or you can go as a team and you can
Yeah, but still
chat and
be
you can
around
have
others, which I think is super important. You know,
yeah,
because like you are in your own space, but you are around others. Like
exactly.
it's a nice form of like active, like it's like an activity thing, but you're social. I don't know. There's a whole thing to it. It's
It's
really enjoyable.
it's sort of like it's a team sport, or it can be a team sport, but where you're sort of allowed to just sort of disappear into yourself and just say, all right, I'm just going to go just behind the group or in front of the group for a little while and just
Hmm.
be by yourself. And I think that's really meditative for a lot of people. And that's, well, at least that's sort of what I'm looking for doing sports now. I used to love really CrossFit, but it's just, I used to do spinning as well, but it's just there's too much screaming and everything. I need a mental break while exercising.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think cycling is just like that really sweet spot. As I
Hmm.
said, it's amazing to do together, but it's really nice to just do it by yourself sometimes.
I agree.
So I
Completely.
really hope that we can sort of reinvigorate that program again. But
Yeah.
we'll do some stuff for sure, for sure. I have like biking gear that's 2.5 years old, just sitting in the office. It's like, all right, let's get you guys out and about. Let's not have you sitting in a cardboard box in my office anymore.
There you go.
Makes
I
no
I
sense.
I definitely have no doubt that you will come up with something killer for it.
We're trying to do some stuff. We're trying to do some stuff, and even sort of more consumer focused
Hmm.
programs that we have. Is like Bacardi Rum Month, for instance, which was a part of what Daiquiri Day and the Daiquiri
Yeah.
competition was a part of. They're almost all of it falling either all the sort of days that we need to do events on. They're all falling on a Sunday or a Monday, and there's very little point in trying to get people into a bar on a Monday. So we are probably going to look into doing stuff for the industry a little bit more.
Yeah, because those are the days that we're off normally. You know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And obviously, there's a few people during the short store and having to work. But the daiquiri competition is something that I'm pretty sure we are going to relive. And then I'm going to go around town and asking a couple of bartenders what they'd like to do, because a lot of people want to have just really fun things, but other people actually said, all right, let's do a workshop. Let's do something a little bit more interactive. Let's do something that's not about drinking and not about sitting and listening to a person speak for 2 hours, but something somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And we might look into doing that as well at some point. See if we can combine having fun and also doing a bit of productive learning.
Well, fun and productive learning can go hand in hand. Absolutely, man.
That's
I
what we're
think that
going
you
for.
I
That's
think
what
that
we're
you got this. I think you got this.
Oh man, thank you. We'll
Well,
see.
Jesper, that was actually all the questions for the day. Are you? Yes, get some water in you. Get some water in you. Are you ready for a game?
Bring it, man. You've been
Okay.
teasing. You've been teasing a bit what you might do because we've been texting quite a lot back and forth, and we've always ended out in just giving away back and forth.
Yes. So it is unfortunately not
Okay.
a gift war. I apologize. That would be difficult with the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But instead, I have a really fun memory test for you.
Oh my god. All right, bring it.
So I mean, we talked a little bit about specs, but how's your confidence with tickets, drink tickets? If you see a drink ticket, do you feel like you can remember it? Because here's the thing, I have 3 for you, and you have 20 seconds to look, and then we will see if you know. And if you get it right, that's fantastic. I believe you can. If you don't, unfortunately, you do have those shots.
All right.
3 shots.
I do have 3 more in front of me. I used to be quite confident in remembering tickets, but obviously it's been a while since I've been out of the game, so
I don't know. I feel like you got it, homie.
well, we'll see. Bring it on. Man.
All right.
Bring it on.
I will share my screen. Let me just get this ready for you. All right, here we go. There you are, sir.
Okay.
Right? Starting off, hopefully, a little easier.
Is it just the drinks, or do you need to remember like table number and everything?
No. Just don't remember the table number. That's totally fine. Just the drinks. Just the drinks, my friend. All right. What were the drinks?
As 1 house vermouth, 1 coconut vermouth, 1 peach vermouth, and 1 vermouth sour.
There you go. There you go. See? Starting off nice and light.
It's good.
Very nice.
Success. I know. All right, I'm feeling a bit of pressure here, man. What's going on?
No, sorry. I'm just getting this set up on the screen. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, man.
Drink ticket number 2.
Bring it.
There you are.
Oh, Christ.
All right. Getting close. Oh, all right. What was on the ticket?
An Ooh La La,
Yeah.
Negroni,
Yeah.
Paloma,
Yeah.
Americano turtle style,
Yes.
and a super spritz.
And a super spritz, yeah.
Is that it?
Was there anything else?
Oh, Jesus. Did I say Bloody Mary? I did.
Yes, there was a Bloody Mary.
Good.
Oh man. All right. You are crushing this.
All right.
I definitely should have made this harder. I tried this with Cast and Smiley, and like I showed him like kids memory games. So it was like blocks and stuff.
Right.
But that was really hard. So I was like, it was like, I think the last one had like 18 images in it. It was pretty impossible. So I thought this might be a little bit easier. Maybe it's too easy. I don't know. You're doing really well.
Thank you. Let's see.
Let's get this set up. All right. 3rd drink ticket coming at you. Boom.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, that was a lot.
I think you got this, man.
I'm definitely gonna miss some. All right, so the first was house vermouth and coffee vermouth.
Yeah, tack.
1979's Negroni.
Yep.
Oh, this is where I feel there was a spritz somewhere.
That was on the first one.
That was on the first one. Oh man, I can't remember the drinks. No, there's a tuna melt because that made me a bit hungry.
Yeah. Oh, tuna melt's lovely.
Olive bread.
Yes. Yeah. Olive oil bread. Yeah.
Olive oil bread. Popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'm off.
You were honestly so close. You were 3 items away with a grilled cheese, glögg, and Italian job number 2.
That's the ones. Yeah.
You were right there, man. You were honestly so close.
So that's number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3. But that's a really nice, really lovely one that you're about to take down.
Right. If I were to lose any, that was the one to lose.
Yeah, I would think so. This is definitely like the easiest shooting.
All right, that's fine.
Cheers, my friend.
That was really easy.
Right? A little brandy for you.
That was really nice.
Who doesn't love brandy?
I do. That was lovely. That was lovely.
Wow. Jesper, you crushed that. I am super impressed by your memory. You really
Thank you. Thank you.
But that is actually all we have for tonight then. Jesper, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast. It's good to see you again.
It's been so much fun. Great to see you too.
Can I just finish off that I've always sort of mentioned you as sort of my hair model.
Have you really? Oh,
I
no.
have. So when the first time I saw you, you had the longest hair in the world.
Yeah.
And now I actually have longer hair than you, man.
Yes, you do. Wow, your hair looks good. That looks super nice. Yeah, I just got it cut like fairly recently, like in the past few weeks.
I don't think my hair has seen scissors for 1.5 years now.
Wow, it looks good on you though. I like it.
Thank you, man.
Long hair, man. That's the way to do it.
It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going. My daughter loves it. The youngest one.
Yeah.
She's laughing all over her face when I get the man bun out and just let him loose. She's just laughing all over her face. I don't know if it's because she thinks I look weird, but either way, man, it puts a smile on her face. So I'm happy.
Yeah, as long as she's laughing, who cares?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, very nice. Do you have anything to say to the folks at home before we kick it off?
Honestly, man, I have 100 things I want to say to everybody. But for the few people sticking it out for the full interview, man, just hang in there, man. I'm here for you guys. There's nothing I won't do for helping the people of our industry, because you've gone through so much shit for the past year. And just remember that there are a few people on the other side of the industry really just eager to help you guys. And if you have any questions, or if there's anything I can do, even if it's just a walk and a talk, man, reach out to me. Yeah. Please do.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much all for tuning in, and we will see you all next time. Ciao.